Hello, my name is Annie, and thank you for coming in today. Excuse me. I spoke to you on the phone, I believe, last week.
Yes.
Could I have each of you give me your names and your ages and maybe tell me about your relationship, how you're related?
I'm Denise and I'm 45, and these are my sisters.
Okay.
I'm Elizabeth. I'm 42.
I'm Kinsey, I'm 40.
Okay, so we have Denise, Elizabeth, and Kinsey. Okay, and you're all sisters.
Yes.
Okay, so you said that you've been seeing another therapist for the conflict with your father.
Yes, we've been going to this therapist for a while for our issues. Basically, we've been trying to take care of our aged father with his Alzheimer's, but it's hard because when we were younger, he was very abusive, especially after our mother died when we were young. He would just, there was some physical abuse, a lot of emotional abuse, but because he has Alzheimer's, we have to sit with him in hospice. Someone's always got to be there with him. And we just feel a lot of anger and bitterness. And it's not healthy for anybody, for our dad, for us. So we're trying to figure it out.
Okay. And you said that your father had apologized to you guys at one point, that he felt that y'all had gotten through it and that y'all should have healed by now. Could somebody tell me about that a little bit, about just the apology, maybe what he said or how you felt about that?
He did at some point apologize to us for how he abused us, but deep down inside, I forgive him somewhat, but not totally. I still have a little bit of resentment because the abuse was severe, and I'm just having a hard time trying to forgive him for that.
Okay. What is it that you guys are looking for in these sessions? What do y'all want to get to?
I just want to be able to move on with my life.
To move on, and what would moving on entail? What would that be like?
I don't know, going back to a life where he's not in it, probably. But can't really do that. We're the only family he's got.
Okay. So you feel like you need to take care of him?
I don't, but they do, so I help out when I can.
Okay. What would y'all want to see in a relationship with him? What would it be like?
But for me, I would like to spend more time. He would spend more time with me, and in the past, he used to belittle me, calling me all kind of names, and other things I don't want to talk about. But I just wish he would spend more time, treat me like a daughter, instead of just like I'm nobody.
Okay. So when you're around him, you guys say that you have to spend this time with him, that you feel it's necessary to take care of your father. Can you just tell me a few feelings that you have when you're around him? Things that you don't want to feel?
I feel rage.
Rage?
Yes.
Bitterness?
Disgust.
Disgust? Okay. Now what feelings would you want to feel when you're around him?
I would like to feel happiness, more like we're connected, not distant.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would like to feel.
So you say you feel distant now and you want to feel closer to him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Any more positive feelings that you would like to feel?
Respect, love.
Okay. If I could ask you guys in just a moment, I'm going to ask you a weird question. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and to imagine a different kind of life. Okay, say that you went to your father's house, and if I could have you close your eyes. So you're at your father's house, and you're sitting there beside him. Does he have a favorite recliner or a couch, spot on the couch that he likes to sit on? So imagine him in that spot that he always likes to sit. And you're sitting there, and you don't have anger or bitterness or resentment. So you're feeling different emotions than the emotions that you always feel when you're around him, that you think you always feel when you're around him. So imagine for a moment what you are feeling. Think of how your body feels, what's in your head, what thoughts are moving through your head. Okay, if I could have you open your eyes, and if each of you could think about those things that you did feel instead of the anger, maybe what he was doing, what you were doing, if y'all were just sitting there watching TV, if you could just move through that.
What came to me was we're actually just having a casual, just peaceful conversation. He's not loud or aggressive, and everything's at peace. Is just calm.
Just calm? Okay. And so y'all just having a normal conversation. Is there anything that you thought of in your head about the conversation? Maybe what the conversation was about?
Just life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some things that I might, like for instance, maybe like a boyfriend of mine I might
Mhm.
like, and I want to get his views about the guy,
Mhm.
you know.
Okay. Elizabeth, could you tell me about your thoughts?
I thought of a friendly game of cards.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of do that in our family, but it doesn't always end well. But just playing cards and having a good time.
What kind of things were you feeling? What kind of emotions were running through you when you were playing cards?
A healthy competitiveness and fun.
Fun? Okay. And Kinsey?
I thought about him reading the newspaper out loud to us.
Mm-hmm.
He used to do that occasionally.
Okay. And what kind of thoughts were moving through your head? Maybe some emotions, some feelings that were different from what you described as not wanting a relationship with them. Did you have any different feelings towards that?
I mean, there were times where he was nice and nurturing and
Mhm.
we felt loved. So I just thought about those feelings, but I mean, you gotta keep in mind, it would always turn around to him slapping one of us across the face 5 minutes later because we said something he didn't like, or him locking us in our rooms for the night without dinner, you know? It always came with some sort of bad thing.
Okay. If each of you could think of for a moment what the ideal relationship would be with him, something that is attainable, that you could reach with his Alzheimer's and with your schedules, with the life the way it is. Some of you have kids, so maybe think about that while you're thinking about what you want from him in your relationship. And so think about that, what that top is, what the perfect relationship will be like that you could have with them. And think about where you are now. So let's put this on a scale from 0 to 10. 0 being the worst and 10 being that perfect relationship that you can have. Denise, where would you say right now that you are on that scale?
I'm saying 5.
A 5? Okay. Elizabeth?
Yeah, 5 as well.
Okay. Kinsey?
I would say a 2.
A 2? Okay. Kinsey, could you describe what that 10 would be like for you?
A 10 would be a dad that's always happy to see you, always has something positive to say about you, always wants to be part of your life.
Okay. Would anybody else like to elaborate on what they felt like a 10 would be?
To me, a 10 would be me and Dad. We're out eating at a restaurant and just having casual conversation. Or I know he loves to fish, so
Mhm.
maybe we can go out like on a Saturday or Sunday and just fish and just talk
Okay.
among each other.
So what I'm hearing is that a lot of it comes from the emotions. You just want to feel happier, more peaceful around him when you are with them. So nothing necessarily you want to do, but just feel better around him. Okay. Well, first off, I would like to compliment you guys on the fact that you do have these feelings, that you do want a better relationship with them after the abuse and what you've all been through. That is something that takes a strong person to do, so I applaud you guys for that. Second, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of homework. It's a little thought-provoking. When you leave his house at the end of the day and you go home, or if it's the next day, after you get there and you have a quiet moment, if you could think back on the time with your father and think of moments when you did feel good, when you were experiencing the more positive emotions, whether it be happiness, peace, being calm, you said just nice and nurturing conversation. Think back on those times and write down those moments about what you guys were doing, what he was doing, what you were doing, maybe the atmosphere, where you were at, how long it lasted, and the emotions that you did feel. So those happy and positive emotions that you did feel. And in a couple of weeks, we'll come back and we'll explore those feelings and see if we can make those happen more often around them.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.